In this video, we're going to use patterns to divide integers, and in particular larger integers. So here we have 564 divided by 4. So these are two positive numbers, and here are all the different ways we could divide these two numbers with varying signs, where one of them is positive, one is negative, or in this case they're both negative. And remember the summary of our results. To multiply or divide, in this case, two sign numbers, we're going to divide the absolute values, so divide them as positive numbers. Ignore the signs. If both signs are the same, the quotient is going to be positive. Okay, so a positive divided by a positive is positive. A negative divided by a negative is also positive. Okay, and if the signs are different, then the result is negative. So let's use this idea to find these quotients. So first we can divide this, if we want to divide this by hand. We can set up our long division. 4 goes into 500 one time, and we would subtract 4, which is like subtracting 400. And again, we usually don't put these here for shorthand, but I just want to remind you of what this means when we're dividing. So we subtract, and we have bring down the 1, 6, 4. Now 4 doesn't go into 1, so we see, does 4 go into 16? Well, it does 4 times. Since this is really 160, I put a 4 in the 10 spot. 4 times 40 is 160, and I'm going to subtract that off. And now I have 4 remaining, and it's in the ones place. There's 1 4 and 4, so our result is 141. And that's not division. And we are down to 0, so that means we've finished dividing. Okay, so this result is 141. Here we have the same two numbers, but the 4 is negative. Well, one is positive, one is negative, so our result is going to be negative 141. Remember, this is another way to write division. We can write it in this fraction form. So one way to think of division is a fraction. Negative 564 divided by 4, so we have a negative divided by positive, which is negative. And here, both of the numbers are negative, and a negative divided by a negative is positive. Okay? So don't feel overwhelmed when you have these problems with signed integers. You're basically going to start with, for multiplication and division, you just multiply or divide as if they were positive. Okay? Then you determine the sign based on the signs of the original number. If the signs are different for two numbers, it's negative. If the signs are the same for two numbers, it's positive.